Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the Spartan Mark VII from Jazwares Halo series. So there's a toy company called Jazwares, and they actually make the Halo action figure lines. Now this being a Spartan, this is actually from their lineup called the Spartan Collection lineup as well. So this is the Mark VII. Obviously they have much more figures out there. They have the Master Chief and then I believe they have much more figures. There's like series 1, 2, and 3 and such. So I actually really like this figure. After receiving it, I actually played it around a bit. Really liked it, so I did order 2 more, the Master Chief and a different Spartan. And hopefully I can continue on. Anyway, so this is a action figure or toy line made by Jazwares. So Jazwares, as far as I know, they're more well known for their other toys these days, or like their Squishmallows and such. But once again, I believe when this first came out, this was, this got actually pretty good feedback and comments from the adult players as well. Alright, so let's get on to the review. So first of all, let's talk about components as usual. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the Spartan Mark VII action figure itself. Now, I would like to mention that I have only played like very little Halo series games, but I will be replaying, or I will be playing all the series very soon because I have ordered a PC that's meant for a slightly more focus for gaming as well. So I will be playing that. So there are certain stuff that I'm not too familiar with for now, but I will do my best to explain. So you get the action figure itself, and from the box it comes with the typical fist type hands as well in the box. And here are the accessories that you should be getting. So this isn't exactly an accessory. So when this lineup first came out, they added these extra bonuses. I believe, though, because it's written Xbox, this only works on Xbox consoles. But on the back there is a code there, and it gives you some sort of an add-on or extra item, or probably a skin, my guess. I do not see any expiration date on the card, even on the back. The code is literally on the back, so which is why I'm not going to be showing that for now. But yeah. And we get 2 weapons. Now each figure comes either with 1 or 2 weapons. I don't think they usually come with exactly the same weapons with a different series. It's always like at least one of them is different. So we get this. There's some sort of a pistol type weapon. I'm not sure if this was actually mentioned in the box. Okay, so this is apparently called the Disruptor. Yeah, so this is the Disruptor pistol. It's purely gray on mine, but I think in terms of details and moldings, they did a pretty good job on the details, if you ask me. So yeah, so we'll put this away for now. And then this one, I know what this is. This is like a shotgun type weapon called the Bulldog. Once again, looks pretty good, but I do have one slight issues with the weapons compared to the figure. Is that I feel like the weapons, like the pistol, seems a little bit too big compared to the figure, and then the shotgun seems a little bit too small for the figure as well. So that's one issue, but I'll get into that later. And other than that, hand-wise, other than the fist hands, here are the other hands you get. So number 1, you get 1 salute hand for the right hand. As well, and then you get 2 open style hands. Very good. And here the connection is, we have a peg here, and then these pegs should individually have some sort of joint here, each of them. So I believe, yeah, you can actually move these joints as well, although this one slightly does not make any sense, but yeah, each hand does have that as well, I believe, including, yeah, the salute hand also has that as well. And then for the weapons, we get a trigger hand for left and right both. So that's pretty good because, the stuff I review, like for Gunpla or SHF Kamen Rider, usually trigger fingers are usually given on one side most of the time. But, they're getting better these days. Alright, so now let's finally look at the figure. So once again, I did order mine quite some time ago, although it was not the ideal way. So because I live in Korea, and while there are some Jazwares items out there in Korea, the Halo series or Halo action figures were never officially imported into Korea because, number 1, Halo isn't really big in Korea. I don't think many people play the series, and back then Halo was very Xbox only heavy, and Xbox was not really successful or was even well known in Korea at the time. So yeah, I think it didn't really have the best start. So I can kind of understand, like, no other toy company would want to bring this in. And there are other reasons as well, but that's where I'm going to stop. So before we go into the articulation, let's do a quick size comparison with the Gym Spartan next to it. So you can see, now the figure does not mention, or on the box does not mention any scale. I've checked multiple times and there is no scale here. So I'm not sure what the scale is. Heck, I'm not even sure how big an actual Spartan is. So I can't really do the calculations at all, but here it is compared to a typical 1:144 scale HUC Gunpla. You can see it's almost like, not exactly twice, but maybe at least like 75% bigger. So yeah, that's this. I actually do like sizes like this when it comes to action figures. So figure wise, it's a pretty big, tall figure. All right, now let's look at the details. So I was kind of surprised for an action figure, they already did some nice paint job here. So let's start from the head. Now, usually a visor I would expect or love to see them in clear, but this is also a new league on its own. I really love the chrome gold they did here. Love that, you know, special effect. So this is actually something, yeah, I didn't expect that this would work, but it looks just really good. And you can see all the details here. Sure, the paint, some are a little bit sloppy, but at the same time, I think they were trying to give it a little bit, you know, that battle damage, or not battle damage, but scratches and, you know, worn out look. So to give out that this guy is not freshly made, this guy has been into the battlefield a few times as well, and same armor. Alright, so head-wise, it can go up that much and then down that much. That's pretty good. And then side, it can actually go 360, but I do not think Spartans can do that in real life. So, yeah, and I don't think they really need to. So that's that. And then neck joint, I don't think there is any specific neck joint here. So it's like the neck is molded into the body, and then there's some sort of a joint inside the neck on top, and the head is connected like that. Alright, and then let's look at the arms. Now, at first, maybe it could be the fact that I'm too used to Gunpla and Kamen Rider, where the shoulder armor actually covers up the entire shoulder, where you don't actually see the inside. So when I first got this, I was like kind of scratching my head, is this normal? But once again, even on the box, it does show it like this, so this must be normal as well. So definitely an interesting design here, but yeah, personally, I was expecting this to go up higher, but oh well. Maybe if that's the way how it is, that's the way how it is. So this arm joint, so originally when I first got the arms, this side of the arm was slightly, you know, loose. So the joint wasn't as the best condition, so I did fix it. I did add a little bit of paint and a little bit of glue to, you know, tighten up the joint there. So each arm is more stable now. So 360, going 360 is possible like that, and then going to the side roughly 90 degrees is also possible. And I believe the arm itself, without the shoulder joint, can also go. You do have a little bit of rotation there, and then bend wise, yeah, you get roughly about a 90-degree bend, but I think it's mostly because of the armor design. So if it weren't for the armor design, I think it could go slightly up more. And then hand wise, as I showed you before, instead of ball joints, they use these peg hands here, pegs. So that's that. And because of the joint, you could technically do this. You can kind of, you know, roll up the fist like that. So that's that. And then you can actually rotate the hands if you want to do so. Alright, for the main body, so let's see, I don't think, now despite how this looks here, and like for SHF Kamen Rider, you know, logic wise, there should be like some sort of belly ab crunch and such, but no, I mean there is a little bit of wiggle, but I don't think that is a joint. Alright, and then going side to side, not too much, so I guess I'm assuming it's the waist section that's kind of blocking the entire thing as well. Now for the legs, as far as I know, there's some sort of ratchet joint in the sides, as far as I understood that. There's some sort of ratchet joints, which works on this side, like that, but doesn't work on the other side that well. So anyway, I would like to mention that. So before we go to the articulation, we do have a side swivel going on here, going to the front, roughly 90 degrees as possible, and then backwards, oh boy, not too much because of the bottom there. And then we do have a bend, so I think this might look a little bit awkward. I feel like this part seems a little bit too long for this guy, but once again, you do get more than 90-degree bend there, so yeah. So because we have this joint here, so it may seem a little bit awkward, but that's just the way how it is, I guess. And that's that. And then going to the side, less than 90 degrees is possible as well. And then feet wise, let's see, we do have a forward and backward movement going on there, and then we do have a toe bend. And then pivot wise, let's see, actually I never actually tested this. So pivot wise, there is a bit of a pivot. So yeah, for an action figure, this is pretty well done. I mean, because many action figures made by toy companies, other than Hasbro, from toy companies, meaning that figures that are meant for 80 years old and up, they usually can't kind of forget to put these like ankle joints there, or pivot joints, which is my slight gripe. But yeah, so we've seen the basics of the figure, so there are some details I would like to also mention here. It's like on the back here. On the back we have this peg here. Now I've seen a video on a Master Chief figure from Jazwares. Apparently that one, you can actually take out the peg and then flip it and push it back in. This one, not so much. And I'm not sure if this is someone returned this, but I feel like someone glued something here on, because I'm seeing these yellow markings. So do let me know. That is a bit odd, but you can see there's a peg here, and you may have noticed there is a peg on the Bulldog. You can actually plug it in there, although I do not think it's a very ideal connection here, because I think this is the way how you're supposed to do it. But yeah, I mean, it works. It works. Now, I would like to mention that these holes here, some of them were actually feeling much smaller, so I had to actually enlarge the hole to actually match the peg. And you might be noticing, so what about the pistol? So each side has these parts here, and you can see they already added like extra paint here, like this silver scratching paint as well, or dry brushing, if that's what they call it these days. What you can do is that you can actually pop these six things out and then flip it and reconnect it to the sides like this. Now I believe I have to do this on the other way around, but the general gist of it is that what you can do, oh boy, is that you do this and it reveals a peg, and now you can store the weapon onto the side as well. Now these pegs are not the ideal connection, but that's the way how they're supposed to work. So yeah, so we've seen the basics of the figure, so I'll be right back with the demonstration of the Bulldog and the pistol. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So here we have the first demonstration. So here is what I was talking about, the shotgun or the Bulldog looking a little bit too small for the figure. So you can see, I know there are compact shotguns out there, but once again, it just, something feels a little bit odd. But once again, I do need to play the game one more time to see the scale between the weapons and the Spartan itself. So yeah, it does feel slightly awkward to me for now, but once again, if this is how it's supposed to be, that's how it's supposed to be. So I did my best to do the double hand pose with the shotgun, because obviously it is a pump action, so you do need to hold the shotgun with both hands as well. So because this figure does not come with any multi-purpose hands. What I mean by multi-purpose hands, hands that are meant to hold anything other than, like, specific items. So yeah, so but once again, for what it is, for what this figure is, it does the pose well done. And here is the pistol onto the side as well. Now, depending on the figure, I have heard issues where, like, on the inside it's fine like this, but when you turn it all the way inside out, now sometimes there are some loose pieces like this one. But this side is pretty okay, but on the other side is a little bit looser than that one. So yeah, that is one limitation that I have been hearing and as well. So hopefully in the future other figures won't have that issue. And once again, it is an easy fix. All you need to do is like color some extra paint on the side or on the inside of the hole, then you should be good to go. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the Bulldog pose. I'll be right back with the pistol and we'll end it off there. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the final demonstration here. So I put the the Bulldog shotgun onto the back, and I'm holding the pistol onto the left hand and giving the fully straight open hand onto the right hand as well. So once again, it works pretty well. Even the kneeling pose, for what it is, of course I do think it's just some joints may seem a little bit odd, still works very well as a kneeling pose as well. Although for a kneeling pose for a sniper rifle, that might be a different situation. But once again, since I do not have the sniper rifle from this collection yet, that is a different story. But for now, yeah, I think the figure does great for what it does, and anybody who likes like these soldier type or commando type like figures, I think you're gonna enjoy it as well. And for me, this was like less than $20, or roughly about $20. So I think it's for how much you're paying, you're getting a really good amount of play value and details for what this is. So I would love to review more, and I would love to see the company keep continuing on this lineup as well. Anyway, thanks for watching the review. This was a review of the Jazwares Spartan Collection, the Spartan Mark VII. I don't think this is a specific character, but once again, I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to review the other stuff that is coming in soon. Anyway, if you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. Until then, see you guys next time.